To be able to explain the complex issues that the founders were putting into our Declaration of Independence and Constitution, really not easy to do. To explain how conflicted they were on slavery and what they did and what they didn't do, almost impossible. This does it. I read the whole thing in one sitting this morning. It's 40 pages, and I cannot recommend it enough. Now, one of the first things that Joe Biden did was get rid of that, get it off of the White House website. This was a Trump thing, and he said he's putting together a 1776 commission to combat the lies of 1691. And when I say lies of 1691, they admit that the history is false in 1691. But I can guarantee you, if you're not paying attention, your kid is learning all of those facts from the New York Times Pulitzer Prize-winning project, 1691. This must be taught to our children. And we have the senior fellow from the Heritage Foundation, Mike Gonzalez, who has authored a new book, The Plot to Change America. He is he's instrumental in making sure this goes forward. Welcome, Mike.
Glenn, it's a pleasure to be on your show. I really appreciate what you do. I had a chance to visit with you in Texas about 7 years ago, and I just love your show and the things you say. And I was hoping that the fundamental thing you were going to was to read history. So I'm very happy that you told people to download the report, which I was a co-author of. I was a member of the commission. So thank you for that.
Mike, I have to tell you, if your book is half as good as the report, it's a must-read as well. To summarize and to write it as pithy as you did, and you and your colleagues, is really hard to do, and to stay true to the principles. It reads true, it reads accurately, and I think that's why they've taken it down on day one of the Biden administration.
Well, Glenn, my book, as you mentioned, The Plot to Change America, I do mention some of these things, some of the political project that is afoot here with making history a narrative, just not a series of facts. In fact, are not partisan. Facts are facts. But what the left wants to do is say, no, these are just simply narratives, and we can oppose the hegemonic narrative, to quote Gramsci, with a counter-narrative, and replace, and that way change America. They want to change the past in order to change the future. But of course, as Aristotle said, that alone is forbidden to the gods to make what has happened not happen. And this idea that there is no truth, that there's no transcendent truth, is a feature, not a bug of the left. And this is, by the way, I'm glad that you mentioned the 1619 Project. The 1619 Project is an attempt to do just that, to replace the narrative of America with a counter-narrative, one that is anti-capitalist and pro-socialist.
I never thought of it this way, Mike. Thank you for bringing this up. I know the progressives. I know what they did to history. I know how long this has been going on. I know who was behind it. But I never tied together the facts. I just thought they're making history boring so nobody wants to listen to it. But by making it all about the facts and losing the entire narrative, you learned the dates and the names, and then you forgot them because you were only studying for a test. And all the while, they've been working on the narrative with no facts, except the facts that those people who are doing it are crediting as fact from somebody else. It's all peer-reviewed facts. And by the time you get to the history books today, you've got, at least 2 generations of history buffs verifying each other.
Right. And I think they understand very well something we conservatives have forgotten, and that is what the founder of conservatism, Edmund Burke, said in the late 1700s, that in order for us to love our country should be lovely. And what they set out to do, their purpose, their very clear purpose, is to denigrate American history in order that for our children to hold the Constitution, the Declaration, and America in contempt. And the reason to hold, they want to for future generations and the present generation to hold America in contempt is so then you create that catalyzes a desire to change the entire system. If America is systemically, structurally, and institutionally racist, then if you have half a brain, you understand that you have to change all the institutions, the structures, and the very system.
So, Mike, what's going to happen to the 1776 project now?
Well, we're now at the present moment talking to each other. We have emailed today and yesterday. We plan to continue meeting. We anticipated what the White House had done, so we moved the document to Heritage. It's on the Heritage website. It's also over at Hillsdale College. The chairman of the commission was Larry Arnn, who's the president of Hillsdale and a member of the Heritage Foundation's board of directors. So you can find it in either place. Hillsdale, by the way, and Heritage have great material for your audience to go to. So you can find it there and read it and make up your own mind. But what we give is the unvarnished historical fact. So if you approach history as the 1619 Project does, with a political agenda, then the facts are something irrelevant, and that's not what a historian does.
Please count me in as an ally on the 1776 Project. I think this should be read. I think it should be in every home, and I think it should be read by every parent, and they should teach it in the home. They should take it to their schools and demand that it is taught in their schools. We have got to stop being timid, and stop saying, well, I don't want to cause any trouble. I don't want the teachers mad at my... Stop it. They are teaching lies to your kids. And in every school across the country, you want to teach the 1619 Project? I disagree with it. I think, but if you want to teach it as a counter narrative to older kids, and it's clearly, these are not the facts. This is just a reimagining of history. As long as they have learned this history as fact, they are not going to be so susceptible to the lies in the 1619 Project. So, Mike, please count me in as an ally. I'll do anything I can to help you. Tell me a little bit about the plot to change America. What is it you go into?
Thank you, and it's extremely kind to be an ally to what we are trying to do in this 1776 Commission. The plot to change America is really a book about identity politics. It's a book that explains why we're here, why we had the summer of 2020. If you want to know why our cities were rocked, not that our newspapers ever reported it, but if you want to know about the 12,000 demonstrations and 700 riots in the billions in damages, if you understand what caused it, my book is it, The Plot to Change America, because what I say is I set out to dispel the myths that sustain identity politics. What is identity politics? It's the division, the reimagining of America as a country as a confederation of categories based on sex, race, national origin, things that you cannot change. And then what the project of the left is to instill the members of the categories with victimhood, with a sense of victimhood. And that is what, as I said before, used as a catalyst for change. What they say is, we know that you can improve your life individually. We know that capitalism provides you with the ability to improve your lives individually. But we don't want you to do that. We want you to act collectively, use your grievances to change America, because capitalism is racist. They say this repeatedly, which is a falsehood, as I point out in my book, The Plot to Change America. So basically, I explain what identity politics is and why it is so damaging to us as a country.
Thanks for watching the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. With more than 500,000 members, we are the nation's largest conservative research and education institution. We believe the principles and ideas of the American founding are worth conserving and renewing. Please help us further our mission by subscribing to this channel and sharing our videos with your family and friends.